Hello everybody, welcome back to Battle Angel Gully. Want to welcome you back to the series. We're getting very close to the end of this story. And for this chapter, we're going to head over to Zuo's village. If you've been watching this series, he's that creepy guy that we met a few episodes ago. Beat up Gerardi. And we're gonna go see what he's up to in his village. Kind of like the aesthetic of these weird Martian villages, kind of interesting. Something's going on over here. Gully wants to see what it is. Jinmenshu. This guy's got a strange disease called Jinmenshu. Jinmenshu? I think this is a pretty key plot point to the whole story. So he's showing us his arm. And oh my word, what is this like? I swear, this series is becoming like a horror game. So they have these weird faces coming out of his arm. These are actually like human brains. Here we go with the brain theme again. A lot of brain themes going on in the Battle Angel story. But yeah, it's kind of a DNA disease. Very strange disease. It's some kind of, DNA damage or mismatch or something. And then eventually the extra brains that are these extra people, in the person, eventually attacks the heart and the blood and the nutrients of the one person that they're attached to, and then the person eventually dies. And of course, there is a way to fix this, but usually it involves removing the appendage and putting on, cyborg parts. So here we go with the, that's sort of how the cyborg parts started, as well as nanomachines and that sort of thing to help with this disease, at least here on Mars. Originally they didn't have, some nanotechnology whenever this disease showed up, many years ago. So cyborg parts was really the only way to deal with it. But this disease is going to come into play as a key part of the story. And now they're talking about a lot of the children of this village disappeared. 20 years ago, a bunch of the children were either kidnapped or something happened to them. The children vanished. Man, what is this like? It's starting to sound like Desperia all of a sudden. You have all this like creepy brain stuff going on, and then all the children disappearing. Kind of wish they had more dungeons in the game that looked, kind of like this place. Have kind of this cool high-tech aesthetic. Well, hey, there's a child that's still here. And apparently most of the others are gone. So there was some event 20 years ago, and of course, Zuo came to this place 20 years ago, apparently. Coincidence? Nah. I doubt it. Yeah, he's sort of in charge of the village. And some of the villagers are a little wary of him. Some follow him blindly because he's so powerful. But a lot of people apparently are living in fear. So I just wanted to quick talk to everybody. She calls him Zuo-sama. He's on the level of a god, huh? Well, that is until we take him down a notch or two. Gai-sama desu ne. Oh, we were obviously being expected. Remember, he invited us here because he wanted to talk to Gully. Not sure if it was a good idea to come here or not, but hey, we're gonna go in and have an audience. Maybe get some information. That guy looks like his hands are handcuffed. Zuo is doing karaoke. I don't know what to say to that. Makes him look like a weirdo. That's what he does in his spare time, huh? Ima no uta wa doko no uta? She's wondering about the song. Enka? A Japan song, huh? Alright, after much talking, he's challenging us to a fight. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to block a single attack here. Come on, recharge health, please. I'm wasting all my bullets here, apparently. I'm guessing this is one of those fights I can't win. I'm just trying to keep him away here with my bullets while my energy recharges. Slowly but surely. And I'm almost out of shots. Now he's probably going to come and kick my butt, isn't he? Oh, come on. Yeah, that was obviously a fight you couldn't win, so I wasted my ammo. That's okay, we can always buy more. Did you see my great technique? Yes, I did. You cheated. Torahe Shurega. It's like, what's with all these like unique fighting techniques that are either German named or... I guess that sounds German. Somebody that speaks German will have to tell me what that means. Of course, Gully's upset. And apparently now we have to become one of his followers. One of his slaves or followers or buka. I don't think we're going to sit down and take that lightly, that's for sure. But he said he's going to send us to meet them. Or him or her, whoever that is. So I'm not actually sure what's going on here, where we've been placed. This episode's probably going to be a lot of story talk. Since this is near the end and we're basically getting into Gully's origins. Oh my goodness. Yep, this is definitely dead of the brain, Desperia, brain vibes. I played a lot of Japanese games. I really don't know what the obsession is with the creepy brain stuff going on. Gully's asking who this is, and they say, you don't understand? It should be obvious. Kasei Master. Rimera's mother is the, master of Kasei. Mars. Kasei is Mars. Ho 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 ho. So this is the brain that's behind the scenes. And of course, Rimera's mother is just a doll being used. If you remember in the last episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, we had the talk with the queen, and she just sat there, if you remember, never moved and never spoke. And basically, apparently this brain is in control of more or less everything, and the girl is just a puppet, just a figurehead. So this brain is what's pulling the strings. 200 years ago is when she died, technically died, and became this brain. Well, 200 years ago, that's suspicious. Isn't that the time that Gully was here? Exactly 200 years ago? So this is the creepy thing that's been hiding in the basement. You remember the princess said there's a rumor about a monster in the basement of the castle, and this is it. This is the rumored monster that everybody's talking about. And somehow it's reading Gully's memories. So she's going to show us what actually happened 200 years ago. So this brain is sort of in Gully's head as well here. Alright, so in this episode we're going to find some interesting origin information about Gully's past. So apparently this brain is just using each generation, of these queens here for Mars. And I don't know, their brain is maybe being removed, kind of like the MIB machines in a Zalem. And then she controls them, playing the queen. And apparently this brain was pulled out of, one of the, what do you call it, that disease that I just mentioned at the beginning of the episode. So if you remember, the disease has those various brains growing on people, sort of like tumors or cancer or whatever, eventually kills the host. But apparently, this queen's one, was apparently removed. And it's interesting, the Japanese she's using, she's talking like she's more than one. Instead of using the usual watashi or watakushi, warewa, which, making it sound like the brain is multiple people, multiple entities. And she's showing the process of what happens. The queen is lobotomized or whatever, and I guess the brain goes into the big brain, and then the body is actually a puppet, which explains why the queen never spoke to us, just sort of sat there the whole time. So this is bad news. That means this is gonna be something that happens to Rimera eventually, the princess, in the last few episodes. So Gully's gonna have to try to rescue her, probably. Also, she was supposed to be helped, removed from another woman by a Dr. Goto. But the terraforming wars began, and of course, whenever wars is going on, there's going to be total chaos. And things didn't really go as planned. So they have this sort of system here where each generation of the queen or whatever is just implanted apparently into that brain, and so now there's multiple personalities in it. So this is Dr. Goto's diary. So this will be interesting. Gully's wondering, what in the world does this queen want to show me? So we're going to go ahead and read Dr. Goto's journal here. And apparently he's the one that did the surgery to remove the brains from some female host. And you can always, not always, but you can probably tell where this is going, as this is also Gully's origin here. He's talking about problems with the surgery and unbalance. But apparently one of the brains he was able to take and fully give it a cyborg body. Now, as I mentioned before, Gully has no memories of living a human life or her parents. And this child was named Yoko. Yoko, masaka, it cannot be. So that's right, Gully, this is her origin. She was one of those brains as part of this disease that was removed from some female host, and she was given a full cyborg body. And each brain is an actual person and has a personality. And so this is what happened to Gully. This is Gully's birth. Or Alita. She was an actual full human brain removed from somebody, as kind of a tumor. And the doctor kept her, gave her a cyborg body as a child, but the others that were removed failed, and he was unable to give them a body and a life and an actual physical existence. So this queen is sort of linked to us as, all of these, brain matter, whatever, came from the same person. But the queen kind of hates Gully here because Gully is the only one that actually had a life, was put in a cyborg body, was able to grow up, fought in the wars, etc., and then, pretty much everything else we know. Fell in love with Yugo, went to Scrap Iron City. She's actually lived more or less like a person would. But this brain has not. So yeah, a little creepy. I'm not sure why Kishiro-san, when he wrote this story, why he had to go so, weird with the backstory and everything for Battle Angel Alita. I guess the time, these really cyberpunk style, stories had to have some really, crazy storytelling in order to be popular. lots of surprises, lots of twists, and lots of shocks. And so the story is written, as weird and as wild as possible. So apparently this queen, Omaiga Nikui, so she hates Gully, and she's the one behind this terrorize event where trying to remove everybody's brains, make everybody zombies, remove all humanity, whatever humans are left, she wants to remove. And she hates humanity, hates the way that, she has to live in this machine as a brain, and hates Gully, of course. Gully is unforgivable since she's the one that had a normal life. And Gully's getting a headache for this queen yelling in her head. Ha. Alright, well somehow we got out of there. Where are we at? Kokoa? Where are we? This is my home. So this was Zuo's assistant. Gully points at him. You! It's like, what is the meaning of this? Why would you rescue me? So apparently he got us out of there and brought us back to his house while Zuo was not paying attention. So he's saying you need to quickly leave this village before, you're caught, or before Zuo realizes that you're missing. And Gully asks him, why did he rescue, her? So, revenge. He rescued Gully for revenge. It's like these 20 years, 100 children, vanished and disappeared. He knows that Zuo is responsible for it, that the children were taken and kidnapped. And he also believes that Gully can fight him. Apparently, one of the kidnapped children is his own daughter. So Gully is, upset, Yurusanai, that Zuo would do this. And of course, he's hoping that Gully will be able to defeat him. He's got the berserker costume, no, not costume, the berserker body, whatever. He's incredibly strong. Nobody can take him out. But maybe, just maybe, because he saw the fight. He saw the fight even though Gully lost the fight. And he's saying, from what I saw, I know that somehow you can defeat him. So he rescued Gully, and putting his trust in Gully to maybe liberate the village here and take out Zuo. And of course we have more reason to take out Zuo now, because he's part of the plot with this Mother Brain. I guess I'll just call her Mother Brain, who's behind the plot to lobotomize all humanity and fill them with the MIB chips, just like the Zalim members. Ano otoko taosh. Gully says, it's frustrating, but, the way I am now, it's impossible. There's no way. Even if I went to face him again, the same thing would happen. So the way I am now, there's no way I can defeat Zuo. But he said the guy was impressed that you actually did some damage to him. That's never happened before. So the possibility that you can win is there compared to other people. But anyway, for now we're gonna run and leave this place. And the guy says, you've been lying here for 3 days. After Zuo imprisoned him where the brain thing was. Imprisoned her, sorry. 3 days? If you remember, 3 days, we were supposed to meet Hopper, that guy in the spacesuit. We're going to meet him at the spaceport to go to Phobos, whatever the name of that moon was. So I guess that's our next destination. We're going to go to the Phobos, how do you pronounce that, moon. And that was where the grave is of the person that's the original founder of Gully's fighting style, her Panzerkunst fighting style. So maybe we can get a special ability there and fight Zuo. So that's the plan. I want to thank everybody for watching. I think I'm going to pause here. A lot of story in this episode, but hopefully we'll have some more action in the next one. We'll see you again in the next exciting episode of Battle Angel Gully. Ja minasan, mata ne.